Welcome to my YouTube channel. So in this tutorial we'll talk about how to find highest and minimum salary from a table, how to find nth highest, minimum and salary from a table. So where n could be any number, 1, 2, 3, 4, the second highest, third highest, fourth highest salary from a table. So the easiest way to solve this problem is to use aggregate functions. So this can be done by using maximum, minimum, and average functions. So those are already available in Oracle. So max function is going to return the maximum value for the column that we have used in that function, and minimum value is going to return the minimum value for that column that we have used in that function. So max column name, min. And the second function will return minimum value for the column name. So if I'm using max salary column, then this is going to return me from the table the maximum salary in that table. And in the similar way, the minimum function is going to return min salary is going to return the minimum salary of an employee from that table. Now let's consider as an example of a table where I have few records inserted. Let me just show you that what we have in this table. So we have 6 records. We have ID, name, salary, commission, address, manager, department ID, department name, order number, and order status. Okay, so we'll talk about only salary column here. Okay, so if we just sort this by in ascending order, so that you can see that this is the 104 record is having the maximum salary, and 106 record is having the second maximum salary, and 101 is having the minimum salary. So let's apply those minimum and maximum function. So if I want to find minimum and maximum salary from employee table, so my query will be very simple. So I'll be using the max and minimum aggregate function here. Select max of this salary column, employee, and for minimum I'll be using minimum function. So what is the max salary is this one, the sixth record, 104 ID, if you can see. Now let's just try to find minimum salary, this one. So to get the complete information of an employee who is having maximum and minimum salary, our query will be select everything from employee table where salary in this max salary. So this is going to return me everything from the employee table who is having max salary. And the similar way I can apply it for minimum salary. The employee who is having minimum salary in the employee table, this query is going to return. Okay, let's just try to execute the first query, which is the employee who is earning the maximum salary. Salary, okay. Valid identifier. I've used double A. So if you can see, this query has returned me the employee information who is earning the maximum salary in employee table. The second query in a similar way is going to return me the employee who is having minimum salary in that table. Okay. Now consider an example of that if you want to select the second highest or second minimum salary from employee table. So how my query will be. So basically, if I know that this is going to be my maximum salary, okay, so what I'll be doing, select max salary from my employee table. So basically now I need to exclude the maximum salary from that table, and then whatever the result set will remain in the table, I want to find the maximum of that. Okay, so this salary will be salary will be excluded, and the remaining result set you will find the maximum salary. So select max salary from employee where salary not in this, the maximum salary from employee table. This query is going to return me the maximum second maximum salary from employee table. So if we select, let's first check the records those we have in employee table. So if you just short it, so second maximum salary is 106 Ravi and this amount. Okay, so this query is going to return me the second max salary from employee table. Table view does not exist CMPL. Okay. Okay. So now to find the employee information also, I just need to put these two statements here. Where salary in second max salary, which we are getting from this query. Okay, so this has returned me the complete employee information who's having second maximum salary in employee table. Now to find out the minimum salary, the second minimum salary, if we check in my employee table, who is having second minimum salary is this one, the 103 record. So let's just try to use, instead of max function, we'll be using minimum function. So that will be the difference. So that will be the only difference. We need to change, instead of max, we need to use minimum function at both the places. Now let's just try to execute. This is going to return me this record. Okay, so let's just try to execute this. So if you see, it has returned me this employee who is having second minimum salary from employee table. So now finding the highest and minimum salary from a table and the second highest and minimum salary from a table is easy. So what if you want to find nth highest salary from a table or nth minimum salary from a table, where n could be any number. It could be a second highest, third highest, fourth highest, fifth highest, and so on. And the second minimum, third minimum, fourth minimum, and so on. Okay, so how we'll be doing it? So instead of using the subquery, because if we'll use the subquery to find nth highest salary, then that will be we have to write multiple lines of code. Okay, and then there will be performance issues as well. So let's just check how to find nth highest salary from a table. Highest and minimum. So there are different ways through which we can do this. The first method is using subquery. Second method is using analytical function row number. And third method is again using analytical function, but here we'll be using rank and dense rank. So let's just first check how this will be done using the method one, which is using subquery. So I'll take an example of a same table. I select the star from employee. So I have these records in my table. Let me just sort in salary ascending order, and I'll just copy these records. So let me just write a query and then I'll explain each part of it. So my query will be select everything from employee table. I'm just giving it alias as T1, where n minus 1, because we are finding the nth salary equal to select count So here I will make use of a subquery from T2 where T1 dot salary is less than or equal to T2 dot salary. So this n minus 1 is the total number of records minus 1. So if I want to find the second maximum salary from a table, so I'll be using 2 here. So instead of n minus 1, I'll be using 2. For third max salary, I'll be using 3. So if I want to find out the second maximum salary from a table, so in this n minus 1, I'll be writing just 2. Okay, so let's just try to execute it. Which is my second maximum salary is this record. So let's just try to execute it and fetch all the information from a table who is having the second maximum salary. So if you see, now in the similar way, let's just try to find out third max salary, which is the 105 record. So if you see, we have got employee information who is having third maximum salary. In a similar way, the fourth max salary. So we have here the fourth max salary. So if you think about how this query is actually working, we are making use of a subquery. So this is kind of a correlated subquery. Okay, so why this is correlated subquery? The reason it is called a correlated subquery is because the subquery uses a value from the outer table. So if you see that this is my outer table, which I have given alias as T1, and I'm using T1 dot salary in the subquery. Okay, so it is the reason it is called correlated subquery because the subquery uses the value from the outer query in its where clause. So if you see, we have used T1 dot salary from outer query in my subquery. Okay, so for each record from outer query, it will pass this result to the inner query, that is my subquery, and then will return the output to the outer query. Okay, so first my outer query is going to execute, and whatever the result, it will pass it to the inner query, and then inner query will execute and will return whatever the output. So in this particular query, for each record processed by outer query, okay, inner query will be executed and will return how many records has salary less than the current salary. Okay, so let me just write it down. For each record processed by outer query, my inner query will be executed and will return how many records, because we are taking a count of distinct salary. Okay, how many records are less than or equal to, because we have used relational operator here. So how this is going to work? So if I want to find the maximum salary from a table, I'll be using the n-1 value as 1. So if you see that this query is going to return me this record, because this 104 ID is having the maximum salary, and as we discussed that the record processed by outer query. So my outer query will be at this place. The moment it is into this place, the salary is this. Okay, and this is going to pass this result to inner query, and then inner query will be executed and will return how many records are less than the current salary. Okay, so we are using distinct count of distinct salaries, where t1 dot salary is this right now, and this will compare it with t2 dot salary, the inner query, which is our subquery. So it will not find any record which are less than this record, but this is we are using, that's why we are using equal to condition, otherwise it will return 0 value. Okay, so at this moment it is going to return, the subquery is going to return the value as 1. So let's just execute this. In a similar way, to find the second max salary, I'll just change it to second. My first query is going to return, the outer query is going to be at this point, and this will find, in the subquery will find that what are the salaries we have. The t1 dot salary is less than or equal to t2 dot salary. So this is going to return the value as 2. Okay, so let's just try to execute this. So this is going to return the second max salary. In a similar way, for minimum salary, we are just going to change this condition. So instead of t1 dot salary less than or equal to t2 dot salary, this will become t1 dot salary is greater than or equal to t2 dot salary. So let's just execute this for second minimum salary. So if you see, this has returned me 103, which is our second minimum salary. And for third minimum salary, just replace this value as 3. It's going to return me 102 in this one. So this is how a subquery is going to work to find the highest and minimum salary of an employee from a table. Okay, so but this query is going to be very slow if we have the huge amount of data in my table. So that's why we have other methods to find the highest and minimum salary from a table. So this is how the first method using subquery is going to help me find out the minimum and maximum salary, nth minimum and maximum salary. Okay, so in our next tutorial, we are going to talk about how we can identify the maximum minimum salary from an employee table using row number and using rank and dense rank analytical functions. So thanks for watching my video, and like, share and subscribe to my channel to get more updates. Thank you.